This is it, the final two games of the season. Did we manage to win promotion, or did the playoffs beckon? You'll see on this episode. Roll intro. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Non-League to Glory. This is episode 9 and in today's episode we had an away game against Southport where we could clinch promotion. We'll follow that up with another away game against Curzon Ashton to wrap up the season, and then we'll go on to a season review before we undertake. The next episode will be the start of next season and the transfers. So let's get into it because we pick up straight away after we've played our last game against Gloucester City where we won 3-1, which was on the episode. For a quick recap, we are 4 points clear of York City going into this game. Let's have a look at the big table. So we've played 40, won 28, drawn 8, lost 4, we've scored 92, we have a goal difference of 60 having conceded 32 and sit on 92 points. Today's game against Southport then, as we get underway, and the team to do this and hopefully clinch promotion is Fernandez in goal with Johnson, Tal, Romano and Adu Pepra at the back. We've got VC, Garmendia and Atranto in the centre with Aaron Sibia on the left, Kim Pioca on the right and Angel up top. O'Brien continues to sit on the bench as he was forced out by Fernandez. Valentin, Métis, Gautier and Najari are also on the bench today. It would really be nice to get this. We should be winning this one comfortably. Play to our game and we shall win is what we are saying to them. As I was saying, it would be nice to get the win today, clinch promotion, and then get some information on what we're looking at next season. Although Marcus Wood has now scored and it's 1-0 and this could go down to the final day depending on what York City now do. And that would be the big sucker punch on the last day if we can't do it today, and then we go into that final game knowing York could overtake us. We don't need to see that. It was onside and it's 1-0 to Southport without having a shot on target. They've just had one now, but without a shot on target they will lead him. Let's have a quick look down and see what. Keep an eye on York. York are 1-1 at the moment, 2-1 now with Altrincham, so they'll close that gap to 1 point if we don't get our act together. It's Johnson who's now picked this up and lays it back to Fernandez. Fernandez, what is he doing? And it's 2-0 to Southport. There was no need to dally on the ball, and he did, and it's costly. Bradley Bowers has scored. Let's look at this. He picks it up and he only needs to do is lay it out or kick it out and just makes an absolute mess of it. We need to get a shout on there to show some passion. It's lacking. 2 shots on target, 2 goals for Southport, and we are throwing the title away at the moment. Angel gets through and he's scored 48th goal of the season. Adu Pepra with another assist, but we are back in this game. It's Adu Pepra from deep with the free kick over the top. Angel gets those balls that he loves and scores the goal in the top corner. And this game is now on. York City are still winning in their game. They are 2-1 up against Altrincham. So we go into the half time down and needing a result. Let's tell them to do it for the supporters against Southport. We need 2 goals in this half and not concede, or for Altrincham to score and hold York for a draw while we win. And it's looking fairly tight at the moment. It would have been great to celebrate promotion today, so let's have a look and see what we can do. Bring Valentin on. Garmendia is not having a great job, so let's bring Gautier on. Give him a support role. And let's tell them to show some passion. Last 10 minutes. Last 15 minutes. VC tries to get something going, but there's nothing at the moment, and Green gets past one, he's on, and that almost went in. It's over, and we remain in the game at the moment, but we are 2-1 down, York are 3-1 up, and this looks to be heading to the final day of the season, where it all depends on Curzon Ashton away from home. We weren't good enough at all today. We should have clinched promotion against Southport, who are in 10th. They will move up to 9th, and look at that final game of the season teed up. And so we will take you to the last day of the season and a review. It's now on to the Curzon Ashton game. This is do or die. York City are at home against Boston, who lie 15th. We are playing Curzon Ashton, who are 21st. Let's have a little look at the table. As we see, Curzon Ashton are fighting for their lives there. A win could take them out there and relegate Guiseley, so this will be a tough ask. York, on the other hand, are in form, 1 point behind us, and playing Boston, and they have to win that game. A draw just won't be enough because of our goal difference. The team we have picked to do the job today is unchanged and is a familiar team, with Fernandez in goal, Johnson, Tal, Romano and Adu Pepra at the back, VC, Otranto, Garmendia in the centre, with Kimpioka and Arancibia on the right and left, with Angel up top. O'Brien, Valentin, Matey, Gautier and Najari are on the bench as we look to achieve promotion today. Recent form standings have Curzon Ashton in 20th while we're in 2nd. Let's show them why. So the final day of the season, and we are away against a team who need a victory today also. And it's them who have the first highlight. Romano does get it away, and it's Otranto now who plays it to Arancibia. Arancibia who knocks it back into Otranto, and it's over the top, and Angel's a little bit slow, but he does get there, but he snatches at that and it's over the bar. Maybe a little bit of pressure sneaking in there. I think he's 1 goal away from 50 for the season. It's Adu Pepra who gets it in. Oh, and Kimpioka's shot blocked by the player, and despite dominating possession, shots and on target, we are still level here. The good news is that York City are also level in their game. That pass goes astray, and it's Curzon who pick up the loose ball, but Tal's able to get that, does get it away, and Kimpioka takes it down and past his player, but snatches again. I think we need to tell them to calm a little bit, because it does look as though they're snatching at things. Free kick now to Curzon Ashton over the top, and it's Johnson who heads that away, but not very far, and Calvary into Evans, and it's offside. It's offside and disallowed. We thought Bannister would give them the lead. It's only slightly offside, but that's a warning. Mason with his goal kick. Kimpioka picks up Garmendia who lays it through to Angel. Angel now can't get it in, and the rebound goes wide. I think he knows that goal could have clinched us the title. York City are still level with Boston. Otranto now with the free kick gets it in. Kimpioka's there, but it comes out and Corey's got it, and he's lightning at the moment, brought down by Johnson. It's a great tackle, and Angel now picks this up, and so many opportunities. Mason saves that. Angel really does deserve a goal today. Otranto, Kimpioka, Regan gets it out, it's Adoaki, but Tal plays it out, and that's going to be a throw-in. And we're at half time. York City are still 0-0. They are performing okay at the moment, so let's keep this up for the second half, and hopefully a goal will come. It's Williams now over the top. Adu Pepra picks up. Otranto tries to get Angel running, but there's nothing going. They start to play out, but that's a loose ball, and Johnson picks up. Johnson inside. Van Korvenberg lays it back to Johnson, and Johnson now over the top to Garmendi, who tries to bring it down. He does, and lays off to Angel. Angel gets there, and Angel has scored. It's offside. We thought Angel had done it then. It is offside. Garmendi are through, and it's only just, it's a whisker. It is a whisker. That's the tightest decision, and that could have cost us, because York are now ahead and we need the goal. VC, Adu Pepra, VC, who plays it over the top. Angel needs a goal now. It bobbles but doesn't go, and that's out. And we are going to change to attacking. We do need a goal now. York City 2-0 up at Boston and could have snatched the title on the very last day. Easy one there for Fernandez. We've gone attacking, and we have told them to get creative. Angel is having a poor game, but we haven't got much in the way of changing this, apart from maybe going Kimpioka up top with Najari on the right, which is a shame for Angel. And that's probably the only change we can make as we try to somehow get a goal. But that's another loose ball. And Curzon play it in. Tal gets it out, and Johnson over the top. Calvary there to pick it up. Tal again. Garmendia. Otranto over the top. But Angel's not going. Garmendia and Angel is there. Angel, and it's another save from Mason. Angel is trying to score. He's just not having a great day. Now goes off, and Kimpioka's moved up top with Najari onto the right as we try. York 3-0 up, and at the moment it's a promotion party for them. Otranto in. Romano now. Back to Otranto, heads it down, chases the ball. Tackled, and now it's Bannister who scored the offside goal in the first half, and it's running away from us at the moment. Johnson, Otranto, Garmendia, Otranto over the top, Kimpioka, and it's straight at Mason, who saves for a corner. Is this goal going to come? One goal changes everything. Otranto in, Najari can't get it, and Curzon are standing tall. With it standing, they still would drop to the bottom of the table, but they are trying. It's Otranto in, and it's out again, and VC picks up this loose ball. Aaron Sibia now lays it back into Garmendia. Tal, and it comes to nothing. Garmendia's having a decent game. Kimpioka is having a shocker. Mate's going to come on. Let him play as a poacher. See if we can get that goal. We're going to move Garmendia up as an attacking midfield, and Gautier's going to come on for VC and go into midfield and play as that central midfielder supporting as we go attacking now. And we do need to demand more. We need that goal. It's the final day of the season, and this is a pretty sickening blow to be 0-0 against the bottom team as it stands, having looked to have sealed promotion. Najari tries to win it on his own, but Mason saves. Mason's been outstanding today, and it's another corner as we try to find this goal. Otranto in, but that's over again. And something has got to happen for us to win this title. That we've been at the top of the league all season, and it's just fallen apart in the final two games. And they're now breaking, and they look to try and score. Can we show some passion in these final few minutes? The clock is ticking down. It's Najari who lays it off Johnson. Johnson tries to play Najari, but it's another loose ball. And now it's Curzon who break, and Curzon, but Romano gets it. Gautier, Otranto over the top. Here comes Matey, and he can't get to it. But it's a penalty! In the 88th minute, there is a penalty. And it's Otranto, club captain, who could seal promotion for us with just 2 minutes remaining. And it's a goal! Now let's pause this a minute and let's go to a balanced. Let's have a look at the tactics, because we have just scored and this will give us promotion. So Otranto is going to drop back and Garmendia is going to drop back, and we've gone balanced. So Otranto is going to go into that deep line, but he's going to play a defensive role. Gautier is going to play central midfield but a defensive role, and Garmendia is going to play the Mazzala. Is he going to play a Mazzala? He is, as a support role. Najari, let's put him on support and let's confirm those changes. And the one last thing that I want to do is put some time wasted on there, because we may have rescued. I don't think we need to see the penalty again. Is put the team instructions on to time wasting. This will seal the title for us, and we've got, that is it, and there is our celebration. We are the champions, and Alfreton will be playing in the National League next season. Until the final 2 minutes, that didn't look like it was going to happen, but it's our captain Alberto Otranto who saves the day. Enjoy these moments, and we can celebrate the title won. 1 point by the skin of our teeth from York, who run out 3-0 winners. But we'll now get on to the season review, where we can go through the table, scorers, players, etc., which is to follow. You'll find out our budgets and everything very, very shortly. So the board have set a initial budget of nothing, with 8,500 on wages for next season. In comparison, the only change we've had is 1,500 extra onto the wages, so that is very tight as we go into the next season, with not much. I mean, for most of the season we were playing with 8.5 grand. Maybe depending on the agreed settings of the club season's expectations, that may change, but at this moment in time, 8,500 is very tight for next season. And now on to the end of season review. So let's get straight into it as the awards. So the fans player of the season is Umberto Otranto with 56%, followed very closely behind with Angel on 33%, and then Chiori Johnson some way behind on 9%. Goal of the season was Mohamed Najari. That was against Royston, which you wouldn't have seen, which was in the FA qualifying rounds. So it's Kimpioka over the top, finds Najari. Najari out on the right, cuts inside, strikes it top corner. So that is goal of the season for Najari in that game. I have to say, I think I've seen a couple from Otranto that are up there, but Najari wins that award. Sign of the season, Umberto Otranto, was a free transfer, and young player of the season, Umberto Otranto. Let's have a look at the stats as we go through then. So the top goal scorer was Angel on 48 goals, a massive return for him. Let's have a quick look at that. 48 goals in all competitions, 4 of those in the FA Trophy, 8 in the FA Cup in just 4 games, and then 36 in 42 in the league. We do have him for next season. Let's have a look and see what we are looking at. So he's a leading player for most EFL 2 sides, and so at this moment in time he is one we want to try and keep hold of for next season. Highest average rating was Alberto Otranto. Most assists for the season were shared by Gideon Adupepra and Nicholas Garmienda, and considering Nicholas Garmienda and half the games he had were probably below par, that is a good return. Adupepra, some amazing assists in there. Best pass completion, Adrian Fernandez, who I think that is a bit overshadowed by he hasn't played as many games as Billy O'Brien or the rest of the team. Most player of the match awards goes to Angel. Most yellow cards, which is probably a tag that these two sections don't want, is Chiori Johnson. And most red cards, Ibrahim Tal with 3, and Pietro Romano ended with 3 as well. So the team of the season is Billy O'Brien in goal, Adupepra, Romano, Tal and Johnson at the back. Van Van Corvenberg or VC with Otranto and Garmendia, with Aaron Sibia on the left, Najari on the right and Angel up top. No place for Kim Pioca, who I think had an outstanding season. Alfreton Town had been expected to be in the running for a playoff place, but performed even better than expected by finishing the top of the pile as champions. It was a season of unlikely yet jubilant success for Alfreton, who consistently fired the odds from the outset and were eventually crowned as champions. So the club vision and expectations. So the board are wanting to discuss the long-term outcome again. So they want to sign players under the age of 20 for the future. They want to play attacking football and they want to play high-tempo pressing football. Work within the budget. National League reach the playoffs minimum. And by the end, in 3 seasons' time, want promotion to League 2 and attempt to remain in League 2. So the ambitions of Alfreton have gone up. Sign players under the age of 20 for the future is something we can do. Play attacking football we have been doing, and play high tempo pressing football is preferred. I do want to take that play attacking off at the moment, and I do want to take that signing under 21s off for the moment. They want it. So we tried to do a little bit of gambling. We then fell back on that. So our club vision will be to sign players under 20. The reason I want to take it off, under 23 is a lot better. I do suppose that they're for the first team, so this will be for the future. But with a tight wage budget, to sign players for the future when we're looking at the first team while achieving these goals they've set is a tough ask. They want to play attacking football, which we've been playing a positive football playing style. But that's now favoured, and preferred is to play a high tempo pressing football, which we do as we play the gegenpress. So they've pretty much adopted some of what we've been doing, so it's not without the realms. The ambitious one is to win promotion to League 2 inside the next 2020, 3 seasons for that one. Now my contract has still not been renewed, so we're still waiting for a new contract. So that needs to be on its way very soon. Let's accept that and move on. So the end of team meeting. So looking ahead next season, they have done brilliant to be promoted, and I want to be aiming for a mid-table finish, and they also like that. So let's have a look at the league table now. So as we look at the final league table, let's move this around. So we finished top, 29 victories, 8 draws, 5 defeats, 94 goals scored, 34 goals against, a 60 goal difference, with finishing on 95 points. We won promotion by 1 point over York City, and then follow Spennymoor, Hereford, Kidderminster, Darlington and Telford, who will make up the playoffs. Going down are Brackley Town and Curzon Ashton. If we look onto the profile, we'll see Angel smash the goal scorers. He's scoring 36. His nearest one was Marcus Dinanga with 17, and then Glenn Taylor on 16. Player of the Match awards goes to Angel on 14, then Otranto on 9, then followed by Newell on 8. Otranto taps the average rating on 774, with Angel on 750 and then Chura Johnson on 726. Assists, De Bayo takes that for Kidderminster, then Adu Pepra and Brendan Daniels. And yellow cards, Theo Street, Stephen Dawson and then Pietro Romano, who's had a pretty dirty season and I didn't even catch on to it. 13 yellow cards and 2 red cards in the league. So let's have a look at these stats then for the season. So average rating, we see Umberto Otranto on 774, then we've got Angel on 761, followed by Chora Johnson. So that reminates for the player of the season. But Volanton, who's played those odd games on 714, has shown he could step up from the development squad. And then we have Pepra, who can play on the who has got lots of assists for the season, and then Ibrahim Tal, with Kimpioka, Arancibia, Garmendia and Nigeria all above 7 and Romano on a 7. VC, who never gets the credit for playing that role as the defensive midfielder, on a creditable 6.96, who really doesn't get the assists but does link up play really well without being given player of the match or average ratings, etc. Then we have contributors Gautier and then Billy O'Brien. Billy O'Brien won't be with us next season. He kicked his toys out of the pram with a sale of a player that wasn't really a first team player at the point that he left, and that Billy O'Brien was then replaced by Fernandez. And if we look at Fernandez, who played 11 games and conceded just 9 goals, but was absolutely 100% an upgrade on that, who signed a contract till the end of the next season, does have potential, and with the wage of Billy O'Brien, which is on £450 a week, that will free up the space when we've got a tight budget for next season. So we look at the top goal scorers. We have Angel, who's on 48 in 49 games. We have Otranto, who scored 15 on 49 games, and then followed by Kimpioka on 12, Najari on 7, and Garmendia on 5. For assists, we've got Garmendia with 12 assists, Adu Pepra 12 assists, Otranto on 11 assists, and Kimpioka on 10 assists, followed by Gautier and Johnson on 8, Najari on 6, Angel on 5, Arancibia on 4, Tal on 2, and then VC and Romano on 1. As we look at the schedule and going through, Royston was the game of the season. Let's just change this view to the goal scorers. So Royston, which was some way up here in the 6-3 win, that was where Angel got 5 goals, and then Najari got the other one in that 6-3 victory. Highlights do include the 5-1 trouncing of Kings Lynn Town. We've also got the 5-1 demolition of Boston. We have the 5-0 the day after the Valentine's Day, Angel with 5 goals there, all in one, which was very memorable. But Angel scored lots of games like that, another 4 there against Guiseley as we won 6-2. Unfortunately, after that, in the last 4 games, he did go off the boil, just scoring against Southport in a defeat where we needed to win. But that sets us up for the next season. And if we look at the finances, so we finished the season £345,000 in the red, which is about £250,000 less than what they predicted us to do. Next season wage budget would be £8,587. We are currently spending £7,492, but with the changes that we've made and the work that we've done, we are only committed to spending £5,627. So we have about £3,000 to play with, which could mean 2 or 3 decent players coming in, and then the rest that make up the squad. The projection for next season, so the end of the 21, is to only be 404,000 in the red. So they would expect us only to lose, if things stayed the same way, £60,000, and then it's the following season after that. I think that we need some money in, and so relatively good offers for players may have to be expected, because I don't think we can survive forever on £8,500 per week in the National, where some of the teams are professional and we're yet to be. On transfer news I can tell you that we have 4 signings already lined up for next season, regardless of where we were. They are Matthias Warling, who is a 16-year-old by accident finding, who plays on the right wing. Can play either on the right or the right wing, and he's 16-year-old, and he's just there to bolster the youth ranks. We have Pascal Juan Estrada, a defensive midfielder who can play in the centre of midfielder, who is joining from Wolves under 21s. We have Morgan Boyce, who will be arriving from Liverpool, who plays on the left of defence and also can play the centre. And finally Jordan Aina, who plays on the right from Chelsea. He's probably going to come in and play backup for Chiori Johnson. He's signing, I think, a £75 a week contract, and so will be a backup there, which is good. This is what these are backup players coming into the team. And some new news dropping on here now. So stadium expansion plans announced. The board have announced plans to increase the standing area within the ground to hold a further 500 supporters. The planned expansion work will cost £50,000 and has to be carried out in order to comply with the league requirements. Additional funding for the project has been restored in a grant and is expected to expansion to take a month to complete. The ground capacity will be temporarily reduced. This will not affect us. We're basically getting the extra 500. We'll hold the further 500 supporters and we'll be going in before we start the new season. So finally, as we head into the national, let us have a look at what our team and our squad strength look to see whether there is anywhere where we think we need to improve on for next season or strengthen the squad, but just look at the overall team from this season. So Billy O'Brien, who is on his way out, so let's remove him from there. So we have Fernandez. So we do need at least a backup goalkeeper or a better goalkeeper to come in and either challenge or take over from Fernandez. On the right we do have Johnson. Bainbridge is his backup, he's on loan, he'll be returning. He hasn't set the world alight, he'll probably return to his parent club, which let's take him off there. And we are signing Jordan Aina, who can come onto there, and Valentin can also play there. Valentin has had some steady progress this season, is now showing as our best central defender along with Ibrahim Tal, and then Romano has been pushed back on there, and then Hadroui. So we have 4 centre backs, and if we were to renew the contracts, we don't necessarily, unless we get offered a really good centre back, need to make any changes there. We do have Dylan Faig, who has been showing all season that he is better than Adu Pepra, but every time he's been given his chance he doesn't fulfil his potential, or what we're told he has, so he will be returning back to his parent club, which leaves us Adu Pepra on that left hand side, which means we need another left back there to challenge Adu Pepra or take over from Adu Pepra. Otranto is our best defensive midfielder, but he plays in the centre, normally with Garmendia or Gautier, but mainly Garmendia. So our best defensive midfielder is Van Korvenberg. Behind that is Vieira, but Vieira really wants to play in that central midfield, and Gautier really wants to play in that central midfield. So we are lacking depth in the defensive midfield if Van Korvenberg does want to, if we need replacement for Van Korvenberg because he's injured or suspended, etc. Although Otranto can drop back, it weakens this area. In the central roles we do have Otranto and Garmendia, who we've spoke about, but we also have Gautier, Aaron Sibia can play there. I know Van Korvenberg can play there, but we also have Vieira can play there. So in all, we don't really need to make too much change on that. It is just if we get offered a good central midfielder for next season. We have Kim Pioca, who is with us next season on loan. Let's move Faggy off there because he's gone. Garmendia won't play on there. And so we have got strength on that left-hand side if you class Kim Pioca on the left-hand side. But Aaron Sibia normally plays there now. Aaron Sibia, I was his biggest critic, so keeping him onto the left is something that I want to do, but I still have my doubts that he will be able to do it at the next level. And so a new left winger and somebody who can play in support. But Aaron Sibia may play a squad game next season, come off the bench and play when players are injured. And then on the right we have Kim Pioca, who will be here next season. We have Najari, who is signed with us for next season, and Aaron Sibia can play over there too. So we don't necessarily need to go out and find a attacking midfielder who can play on that right hand side. Up top we have Angel. As we've learned before, he is operating as a leading League 2 according to my scouts, and so he doesn't need to be replaced. He should be good in this national and maybe beyond, if we're with Alfreton that long. What is worrying is behind that, when Angel has gone off, we had Junior Selle, who will leave from his contract at the end of the season. He hasn't took advantage when that's happened. Same for Mate, the same for Chow now, the same for anybody that we've tried in that position, including Kim Pioca, who is quite highly rated up there for this level. It is just Angel who's managed to score. The man is an absolute goal scoring machine, and so we do need probably to bring in somebody who can add to those goals when Angel is either suspended, injured, or in need of a rest. So that's the squad that we leave with. Now we need to get some transfers in, we need to work on this team, and we need to get us ready for the national next season. I am undecided whether we are going to have an overhaul, but looking at the team, I don't think it needs it. The only thing that worries me is £8,500 is not very much to spend in the national, and we could get found out very, very quickly. We haven't got any choice. There's nothing I can do to change the £8,500. We haven't got the money in the bank to request any more money. They'll just deny it. We've got nobody interested in the players at the moment, and I don't think I really want to sell players like Otranto, Angel, Najare, Garmendia. These are the key players that are probably going to keep us fighting in that division next season. So a lot to think about. So in other news, Angel has scooped to win the Player of the Season. So Alfreton Town, Angel has won the Vanarama National League North Player of the Season. The 28-year-old put a string of amazing performances, scoring 36 goals in 41 games with an average rating of 750. In other news also, Angel was named the top goal scorer. He was obviously well ahead of Dinanga on 17 and Glenn Taylor on 16, so scoops this prize as well. So in addition to the awards, the board have injected £90,000 to help with the club's running cost. We have 2 new sponsorship deals, a 5-year stadium sponsorship worth £12,500 per year, a main kit sponsor worth £6,000, which is totaling £18,500, which is a £2,500 increase on last year. We also have a new scouting budget, which remains the same as last season at 10.25k, and the Alfreton chairman has provided a loan injection, so he's pumped in £475,000 to cover the debt incurred this season. That means we now sit with £305,000 in the balance, and projected to be by the end of the next season only £120,000 in debt, which makes things a little bit more manageable. And finally, Hall claims Manager of the Season. Alfreton Town's Adam Hall has won the Vanarama National North Manager of the Season award. And that's it, a season draws to a close. We've done the review and now it's on to next season. If you like the series so far, please drop a like, and if you want to stay notified for future releases, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'm Adam. See you next season.
We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.